A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candy Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Evans Okinyi, and I'm always glad to bring you up to date with comprehensive analysis of all that is taking place in our beautiful country, Kenya, and across the border. I'm today joined by the man himself, Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Good.
I want us to begin from a comment by one of the political analysts in this country. His name is Josephat Kamanya. He says here that Uhuru Kenyatta said William Ruto is not fit to be president and supported Raila Odinga in 2022. Mount Kenya region refused to listen to him, but 2 years later, Ruto and Uhuru are together. Can the Mount Kenya region listen to him? Now, did Uhuru lie about Ruto not being fit to be president? That is the conversation I want us to have at this particular moment in time. You've seen, of course, I also watched your show with Jadel on the visit to Ichawere and all that. And it's now emerging that perhaps there could be some sort of working relationship brewing between the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya and the fifth president of the Republic of Kenya. Talk to us. Can he really yield at the end of the day?
Can he do it?
Can Uhuru Kenyatta really yield votes for William Ruto from that particular region?
Well, it's a little difficult in terms of the votes for now. The mountain has expressed itself. Immediately after the encounter between Uhuru and Ruto became public, the mountain expressed itself. And they have said, under no circumstances would they vote for Ruto.
Okay.
And Uhuru will not convince them. They have said even if his own father, Jomo Kenyatta, woke up, they will not listen to him. And they have said a lot more things to reassert their position that they are through with Ruto. And they talk about betrayal. I have said many times the Kikuyu community, the Gema community know what betrayal means. Once they perceive you as somebody who is a traitor, somebody who has betrayed them, rightly or wrongly, you'll have a problem. So this time the mountain people believe President Ruto has betrayed them. And I don't think he's working with Uhuru to change that. At least not for now. Tomorrow you can never know.
No, but this actually now differs with the belief, or rather what you've always said here about Uhuru Kenyatta being an institution. At this particular moment in time, are you convinced that maybe for a second time he may not actually be able to lead his people or rather influence them towards a particular candidate?
The situation is difficult. I do not see Uhuru having sufficient influence to change the feeling and thinking around Mount Kenya about Ruto. I don't think he'll even try. I doubt. I don't think he can try. Yeah.
Okay.
He may support Ruto in other ways, but direct will be a little difficult from where I sit. For now, I'm repeating for now. Tomorrow, things can change.
Prof, could we be reading too much from that particular visit and maybe the potential of Uhuru Kenyatta actually helping salvage the little support that may have remained in the mountain for him after things went sour with his former deputy, Rigathi Gachagua?
It is possible Uhuru has influence. And even when the mountain is restless and completely against Ruto, there's always that possibility Uhuru can influence a few votes here and there, but I don't think the votes will be significant. No.
Okay.
I don't think it will be significant. No.
Talk to us about the response of Rigathi Gachagua in relation to this particular matter here. He says that our people lead the leaders. They actually say where we want to go. And at this particular moment in time, it seems like he's not worried whether the fourth president and the fifth president actually work together at this particular moment in time.
Yeah, Gachagua says, well, among the Gema community, the people who see things first. And in short, he's saying, if you can't read the ground with Mount Kenya, you are wasting your time. You have to read the ground. And for now, the ground is hostile to Ruto. completely anti-Ruto. So any leader who goes against that, any leader who doesn't listen to the Mount Kenya ground, any leader from Mount Kenya who thinks they can change the mountain, then they are lost. That's what Gachagua is saying.
Okay.
Yes.
For Gachagua, so many people would be saying that perhaps he's more of having double standards because there's that time that he actually went and reached out to the former president, or rather the fourth president of Kenya, to actually make amends. And that these people are actually asking this particular time that if President William Ruto goes ahead and tries making amends with the fourth president after what happened and after we actually saw what happened back then, what would be the wrong? Why would it be right when Gachagua does so, but it's so wrong when Ruto does so?
I think you are mixing two things. Gachagua, within the context of Mount Kenya politics, meeting Uhuru was a way of cementing the togetherness of the community. Okay? And making the community speak with one voice. But for Uhuru now, he's not going to meet Ruto in the interest of the community. He's meeting Ruto in the interest of Ruto and the system. Gachagua was meeting Uhuru so that the community may be one. I think there's a big difference there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were talking of Gachagua meeting Uhuru to actually foster interest in the unity of his particular community. But then at this time round, you were saying here, but Ruto as well is saying here that he met the president purposely for the unity of the country.
Yeah, that is for the country, but now we are mixing again. Country and nation are different. So the Gikuyu nation, the Gema nation is different.
But at least we are talking about...
Gachagua is talking about... The Gachagua would have been meeting Uhuru in the interest of the Gema people. Ruto and Uhuru are meeting the interest of the country. That's a little different, eh? Yeah.
But you've said that...
passions apply more at community level than at national level. Yeah.
Should President William, or should the fourth president, I mean Uhuru Kenyatta, go ahead, make a decision, and then at this particular moment in time, make a stand and say, well and good, perhaps President William Ruto has had his mistakes. I also had my fair share of the same. But then let's reconsider and actually bring him on board, support him. Do you think that perhaps people may actually listen to him, Kenyans may listen to him, or at this particular moment in time, you are of the same idea that for President William Ruto, everything is actually getting slippery?
No, I'm saying it's getting slippery. It is indeed slippery, yeah, but I'm not saying that will be forever. There are dynamics in politics. What I'm saying is Uhuru's voice directed at the people of this country to ask them to support Ruto will be a wasted effort. But there are other strategies. But for Uhuru to stand on a podium and say, I support Ruto, let's all support him in national interest, let's vote for him, is wasted effort.
If that is the case, do you think that perhaps the president is aware of this, but he still goes ahead and does the same?
You see, there are other strategies. But for Uhuru to directly convince the people of Kenya, much less the people of Mount Kenya, is what I'm saying is not working, can't work, until there are other dynamics. You see, the mountain may say they don't like Ruto. Maybe they're justified. And then, come 2027, there's confusion about who they can support. That way, they may be so fragmented, a few pieces will fall Ruto's way. But if there is a person the community identifies as the person carrying their dreams, hopes, and aspirations, whether they are from the mountain or not, as a person they are convinced they will teach Ruto a lesson, then that one, there will be little to expect on the part of Ruto from the mountain. Yeah.
Now that Rigathi Gachagua had fought so hard to unite his people here, and of course that is one of the grounds for which he was impeached. These people saying very well that you cannot actually talk about one community in exclusion of the rest of the country. But at this particular moment in time, he's actually leading a group of people who feel betrayed. And then on the other end, we've seen President William Ruto reaching out to the fourth president. Now, how does actually this affect the unity of this particular community? Because here we are, he was with, Gachagua was talking to Uhuru the other time, not in good terms with the current president. Then now Ruto goes ahead and then approaches Uhuru directly. How does this affect the unity of this particular region? And while at it, do you therefore still see some sort of a leadership vacuum in Mount Kenya region?
No, the mountain is united. When people have something to unite them, they will always get very united. They are united in anger against Ruto. That is a powerful tool of unity, and is working perfect. So they are united, and there is no doubt that the Gachagua seems to be the person around whom they are they are organizing their anger and sort of rebellion, if you wish. So for now, Gachagua is the man the people are looking at and thinking, well, this is our man. But Uhuru is larger than life, larger than size. So if he plays in the direction of the people, then surely he'll be the undisputed king. If Uhuru were to stand and tell the mountain, please get united, it will achieve more than Gachagua can never do. If Uhuru stands up and tells the mountain, let us vote for Kalonzo, that is powerful, extremely powerful. It will have the impact of mobilizing every person from the mountain to vote for Kalonzo, or for Mutata, or for Manyora, or for whoever it is. So long as he's not directing them taking them in the direction of Ruto. Because they are angry with Ruto. Yeah.
Okay.
So if it's anybody else and who seems to have a chance, like Mutata or Kalonzo Musyoka, the community will listen to Uhuru Kenyatta. Much more than they will listen to anybody else, including Gachagua. Yeah.
So therefore, for Uhuru Kenyatta, would you therefore advise him actually to perhaps maintain the camp that Rigathi Gachagua is in, because he's saying that he's going to give directions? You
know, there are different types of swimmers. But if it's an ordinary swimmer in a river, you can't swim upstream. You swim downstream. So if Uhuru is going to do what Gachagua is doing and what the people want, he'll be swimming downstream. But if he chooses to ask the community to support Ruto, he can still swim upstream against the flow of the water. Like the Pokot. The Pokot are very powerful swimmers. They can swim in any direction. So if Uhuru can swim upstream, it's okay. He can. It's okay. But the easier thing for him to do would be either to keep quiet. If I were Uhuru, I'll just keep quiet. As a former president, if I were Uhuru, I don't think I will be involved in this murky politics of this country for now. The politics is too dirty. Things that are happening who can spoil your name. You are a former president. I would advise, unless you have a direct interest. You know, people have rumored he might want the brother to enter politics. Uhuru Kenyatta, whichever, either as a presidential candidate or running mate. If that's the case, then it's okay. But if there's nothing, you have no dog in the fights, no horse in the race, instead of risking soiling your name as a former president, I would just advise Uhuru to keep off politics. Yeah.
With Kithure Kindiki on board here as the deputy president of this country at this moment in time, do you think that perhaps if the president, knowing the fact that perhaps he might have lost a significant amount of votes in the Mount Kenya region, looks at this mountain arithmetic and says, look here, on the eastern side, seemingly I have those who are supporting Kithure Kindiki, so he may have the eastern side of the mountain here with him. Then if he gets a few people from the other side of the mountain, maybe who may be allied to Uhuru Kenyatta, then he may get his calculation right come 2027.
That's just gambling. That's what I think they thought. But as they may be aware now, that has not worked. Kindiki's elevation to deputy president has not excited Mount Kenya East. Case in point, you saw Embu. And I'm sure even in Meru, they are not excited about Kindiki. Not that Kindiki is a bad person or that he's not capable, no. But the entry is viewed as part of the betrayal. And therefore, even in Mount Kenya East, I don't think he can make any significant impact. Yeah.
Okay. So as far as you're concerned, that
I don't think.
that matters.
I really doubt. I really doubt. But you know, politics is politics. Things can change. Dynamics in politics can play out in such a way that you find they are calling the shots.
Up to this point where we are, which dynamics can actually change in favor of the president?
3 years, 2.5 years to elections. So much can happen.
What can change at a time when actually some of the leaders in
Ruto can change and transform. He can become Paul on his way to Damascus. Ruto, who is Saul now, I think, to many Kenyans, on his way to Damascus, which is 2027, he can see light and become Paul and change. Yeah. Then it becomes very difficult for you to have anything against him. Yeah.
What do you make of the sentiments by Nyeri Governor Mutahi Kahiga, who actually dismissed the possibility of CS positions being given to some leaders from Mount Kenya region? And of course, he said there very well that you cannot take away the DP position from us, and then you bring you replace that with CSS. That is not going to work here with us. Do you think that perhaps for him he does not see Kithure Kindiki as maybe potentially one of them? Or what does it mean?
Well, the Governor Mutahi is just saying whatever everybody is saying. It has not worked. That card of Kithure Kindiki has not worked. And I very much doubt that the president will go with him as running mate, unless there are other dynamics. Just to appease the mountain, I've not thrown away Gachagua, I'm still with you. And therefore I run with Kithure Kindiki. I doubt. I see somebody like Mudavadi being a great beneficiary when it comes to running mate in 2027. Yeah.
That would mean something else different. We would definitely mean that that would mean the president leaves Mount Kenya region
he
totally
can,
out of the question.
Because they will not vote
and then deals with the rest of the country.
Let me tell you, if he chooses Mudavadi, he would only hope the other side doesn't choose Natembeya or Eugene. That's, if they don't, then you'll have the whole of Western, which will be much more than the remnants of Mount Kenya votes. Yeah.
The choice of Mudavadi, though, Prof, at this particular moment, he's been part of this regime. And of course, there has been that wave of the revolution here, of course, the Gen Zs and all that. People who do demand and say that all of them must actually go. And he's seen as one of the people there. Do you think that even if he's given that kind of opportunity, then he may be able to who is the Western region bloc?
You know, if he's running mate Ruto, that's big.
What do you think?
It can only be neutralized by Natembeya or Eugene deputizing Kalonzo. So I think Kindiki may, in my view, not be the running mate. If he were to be in the mountain, for example, he would go for Ndindi Nyoro or something like that. Because Ndindi Nyoro brings the Moranga card. And that is a powerful card. At least you'll be assured of Moranga votes.
Okay. So these are
and a few other here and there.
At this particular moment,
he may harvest. Ruto may harvest. Ruto, on top of my head, Ruto could harvest up to 801 million votes if he took Ndindi Nyoro.
So you're saying if he took Ndindi
maybe 700.
How powerful is Ndindi Nyoro to overcome this betrayal card that is lingering?
He's been trying to distance himself. And it's almost successful.
So even if
remember, Ndindi Nyoro, like I've said, comes with the Moranga card. Kiambu has produced 2 presidents. Nyeri has produced 1 and two deputy presidents. Moranga has not produced anything. And they feel it is their time.
But the Muranga people are also part of the mountain. And does that card of betrayal
that's why I'm calling it a card. I'm calling it a card. It can be a long shot, but it's a card nevertheless. That if there is anything that can give you a few votes from the mountain, Ndindi Nyoro can provide those few votes. I've said people like this man from Laikipia, you know, I've forgotten. Yeah, people like those have some semblance of a stand in the community that can withstand this wave against Ruto. What is this man, Mangi Kunjuri? People like those, they may not bring a lot of votes, but Ndindi Nyoro, to me, is the surest bet if he has to remain in Mount Kenya. It can't be Kindiki. It can't. Better get somebody like Peter Munya than you are. If you got Peter Munya, you can get a lot of votes from Eastern. Yeah.
Okay.
Peter Munya is another possibility.
With Gachagua leading the side that feels oppressed and
Yes,
betrayed.
yes.
And then you get somebody
Yes.
like Peter Munya from the eastern side of the
Yes,
mountain.
yes. He
And
can
you
bring
believe that
you.
at least
Can
you
bring
can
you
get
Meru
some few
votes.
votes.
He can bring you Meru votes. Yeah.
Okay.
So people who can bring Ruto at least 1 million votes. Ndindi Nyoro, Peter Munya, and some little extent Mangi Kunjuri. Yeah. But especially Peter Munya and Ndindi Nyoro. Those can. But not Kindiki. No.
Not Kindiki.
No.
Okay.
But Kindiki is a good man. If he can ride over this betrayal card.
What does he lack that makes you think that perhaps he may not?
There are
be
many
voted
things
for?
going against him. You know, he's part of the betrayal game, part of the betrayal team, and the narrative of betrayal. He fits in squarely. Yeah, but those who have been used. He belongs to the Kimani Ichung'wah in the same camp, or people used to undermine the community, to undermine Gachagua. So that is not easy to wash away that, and that's why Ndindi Nyoro in the recent past has been silent, distancing himself. Yeah.
He's been distancing himself, yet you still expect the president to at least try and pick him for a running mate in 2027.
That's a possibility. It's a possibility, depending on how bad Ruto needs to remain in the mountain. But there are better options. But it will be very difficult for him, because if all Kalonzo will need to do is to take Eugene or Natembeya, and Mudavadi becomes useless, he won't bring much.
Okay. Well, that would mean Kalonzo as well excludes the central Kenya region. Remember?
Yes. Correct.
So
no, in the game plan that is currently being looked at, the Mount Kenya people say they don't want to go for presidency. They don't even want to go for running mates.
okay. So that would mean that they fully rally behind Kalonzo Musyoka.
They support Kalonzo Musyoka and offer that running mate deputy president position as a way of ensuring they get maximum votes from outside the catchment of Gema, where Gema includes Akamba. You see, if you get a Mount Kenya person to deputize Kalonzo, the extra value that person brings, extra votes, are nowhere compared to the votes you would get if you gave a Luya for running mate. Yes.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of chess game has to be played at this particular moment. A lot of calculations also need to be made with all eyes on the 2027 poll. But let's wait and see how things unfold till then. My name is Evans Okinyi. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being part of this family.